Hey, it's Kimberly with the Activist Mommies. I am sitting here thinking about a commercial that I witnessed. A cute little girl, goes into a public restroom, and then all of a sudden the music and the scenery and everything just leads you to believe that this horrible transgender person is going to cause her to be attacked. And my heart just went out to her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we just have to stop this. But then the reality kicked in. The far right is trying to make you fear. They're using fear to get you to do what they want you to do. The Bible warns us repeatedly about fear, and the Bible tells us quite clearly that Satan is the one who causes us to fear. He brings in the fear. Fear is not from the Lord. I'm asking you to be like a Berean. When the Bereans were faced with the most controversial subject of their time, they didn't listen to what the religious people were saying. They did the research themselves. And guess what? The Bereans found that this Jesus, this controversial Jesus that the religious said was a false prophet, he was actually the Messiah. The religious people were wrong, and because the Bereans studied, they discovered the truth. So let's talk about this transgender issue. The Bible tells us that some are born this way and some are made this way. Well, if they were born that way, why would the Lord let them be born that way if it was such a horrible, bad thing? Science tells us that they're born that way. Ample studies over and over tell us that they're born this way. So that is one check in the box. I just want you to understand that these are beautiful human beings. This is a population that didn't ask to be born transgender, and they're just trying to live their lives. The next thing I want to point out is this argument is not about the bathrooms. It's not about the bathrooms. A transgender person doesn't have basic human rights that the rest of us Americans are entitled to. They can be denied a job just because they're transgender. And if they have a job and then their employer finds out that they're transgender, they can be fired. They can be evicted from their apartment as well. They can even be refused service. Some states even allow them to be refused medical service if your religious rights don't allow you to treat them. That's insane. You have to see the insanity of this. But the far right wants you to think it's about toilets because that's the only thing that they know that they can gain fear on you, get you to fear, because when we fear, we don't think rationally. I'm asking you to prayerfully study the evidence and ask yourself, what would Jesus do? What would he do?